Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Summer Says. This week's episode is called Stop Being Nice All the Time. And what this meant for me was learning how to stick up for myself, learning how to say no, embracing what I don't like. I had a realization that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and not everyone's going to be my cup of tea either. I grew up believing that you have to see the best in people, that you have to be nice, and this led me to put other people's comfort above my own. We don't live in a world where it's all rainbow and sunshines. And learning to trust that gut instinct where I start to think or feel, or I can know that people don't have their best intention for me, and learning to trust that has built a stronger relationship with myself. I'm sure as women, we've all felt it when we're out on a night out and we've had men hit on us, and I've tried sometimes to be nice and tell them no and be sweet and not want to be too rude because I don't want to hurt their feelings, and then they push and they push and they push. So sometimes you just have to tell them to fuck off. So to be seen as rude or mean to protect yourself is a quality that I've learned to embrace. I think I struggled with being disliked. I struggled to be seen as rude or mean or as a bitch. It's like the rejection therapy. I had to be rejected or disliked to just accept it, because it's also vice versa. I had to accept and realize that I'm not going to like everyone and enjoy everyone and accept everyone, and that's okay. It's just realizing that they're not my people. And this whole belief that we have to accept people and see the best in them doesn't really resonate with me. It doesn't work with my life, because as I am for other people, and the same goes for other people, not everyone is going to work for everyone, is what I mean. And the more I tried to force myself to see the good in people who were not good for me, I kept people around in my life for the sake of not wanting to lose them, even though deep down I know we're not resonating. And this isn't me saying go out of your way to be mean or rude, but don't go out of your way to be overly nice when you know that things aren't sitting right with you. Don't deny your own instinct when you know that someone's trying to take advantage of you. It only leads you to allowing people to step on you, take advantage of you, easily forgiving people and seeing the best in them all the time. You just end up stepping on your own boundaries. It's so important to have standards in your life, and standards isn't saying yes and accepting everyone. Be assertive but not vindictive. And I've also come to realize that the more I accept what I don't like, I get closer towards what I do like, and I don't waste my time. I think when I've learnt to use that little moral compass that can tell me who's good for me and who isn't good for me, I just grow closer to myself. I have a lot more self-respect as well. I always kind of struggled to have standards because I wanted to, accept and appreciate people for who they are, and I'll never be rude to people, but I want to learn how to stick up for myself, and that's what I hope to teach my daughter and my sons, is to also stick up for themselves. Unfortunately, I've had interactions with people that want to use me. There's people that just see you as a opportunist. I call them opportunist friends. People who come into your life and they see you as an opportunity. They see what you have and they try to have it. Or they only use a friendship to get what they want out of it, whether it's car rides, whether it's, invites to parties or just your advice. Like, these are opportunist friends, and personally I've learned to deter myself from these people. As much as I appreciate them and love them, I don't love just being used for my things. So I've had to cut people out of my life because of this. And some people may say that's rude or that's mean because they haven't done anything nasty to me, but it's not the type of friendship that I'm wanting. And the more I'm able to have standards and high morals in my life, the less I waste time with people who, in the end, don't really have my back. I do have a belief that you should expect the same that you get from your friends. And if it's not able to be met, then I'll either have a hard conversation with you, and if it isn't able to change, then I unfortunately have to let you go. And if you want to see me as rude or mean because of that, or I'm having too high standards, then I'm going to let you think that way. I'm going to let people think what they want to think about me. And to let people dislike you, and to let people let people be uncomfortable by you has been a really uncomfortable experience to have. because I want to be liked by people, and naturally we crave connection. But I've come to realize the more I mask myself, the more I try to be someone out of your comfort, I'm left feeling out of touch with myself. I don't really feel connected to the people around me. And I feel like my self-respect kind of goes away. And it's okay if people don't understand your morals. Don't over-explain yourself. I've had to realize that as well. It's okay if people don't understand. Even sometimes I try to understand where I'm coming from. But it's just you're human. You have to learn you're human and learn what works for your human. And if those certain ways work for them and you have different ways, it just has to make sense for you. And it's that instinct inside. For example, I had a close friend and we had an amazing friendship. We were very close and I loved them and they loved me, but unfortunately our friendship styles were completely different. I remember towards the end of it, I started to realize that everything I brought up in conversation, maybe I wanted to talk about an achievement or my relationship or other things, the conversation would be quickly turned to be made about themselves. And it happened every time. And after like a month or two of this, I started to feel quite left out. I started to question the relationship. And one part of me was like, I need to have a relationship where I can have these concerns voiced. And then the other part of me was, oh, but I also want to hear her side. And I don't think, maybe it's rude to bring it up because, she's just being herself. And then I had this other question of like, can I deal with this for a while? Like if we were very, very close friends. So I was like, can I really deal with this for the rest of our relationship? Probably not. I can't. I need a space where I can also have space to talk about my achievements and, have 30, 40 minutes to talk about me rather than me just listen to her all the time. And I brought it up in conversation. I didn't bring it up in a mean way. It's obviously not going to be a comfortable situation to talk about. It was met with a bit of hurt and uncomfortability. But if I were to keep my mouth shut, I would have just been lying to myself. I would have just been shutting off my own feelings, making myself uncomfortable for the sake of her. And unfortunately, things didn't change and we've naturally distanced for other reasons as well. And there's nothing inherently wrong with her and there's nothing inherently wrong with me. It's just realizing what you need more. And if I were to continue to be nice at the expense of my own self, it just gets so draining. It's like this people-pleasing aspect that doesn't want to make people uncomfortable, and then you're just left masking for the whole time. I was just tired of masking. And I would really hope that the people close in my life are able to express these feelings towards me and I'm able to meet them, because I realize that if a close friend isn't able to hear you throughout these tough conversations, maybe a bit uncomfortable, and they leave you or distance themselves afterwards, they were never really a true friend. Like the friends that I crave in my life are the ones that are going to be able to be there for me, through, when I'm married and childbirth and through my greatest achievements. And I believe we go through obstacles and trials and tribulations in our life that are able to show us who our real friends are. And so practicing having these uncomfortable conversations has allowed me to just, elevate my self-worth and to feel more determined in my human. I know myself so much more through this. And the rejection therapy is like, okay, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Like, bon voyage, see you later. Because people pleasing and being nice is caring too much. And I don't want to care so much. I want to be carefree because I know that I have a good heart and I know I've got good intentions with what I bring it into. But I also know I have to be strong with my word. And that sometimes in life you have to tell people to fuck off when they've got the not best intentions for you, because we don't live in a world of rainbow and sunshines. I've come to see that people can take advantage of your niceness. So be truthful to yourself. It's hard and uncomfortable, but the more you are, I've come to realize more truth within myself. It grows like a newfound confidence. And it's hard because I think deep down I kind of knew that I was going to lose some friends over this. And I have naturally, because I've realized more of my standards, because I stopped being nice and considerate, and I've had to kind of put myself first in a way. And I think being overly nice and understanding can only lead you to feeling disconnected. I remember I had a friend of like 7 years, and when I was going through my breakup with my partner, it got really ugly, unfortunately, and I just, like, when people lie to you too much, the only way to get the truth is through going through their phone. So it got to a real ugly point where I went through his phone and I found messages between him and my friend of many years, and she had expressed to him what I expressed to her in private, and the truth was changed. So she made me look like someone that I wasn't, and she changed my truth and was talking to him about it. And a part of me was, like, really confused because I wanted to see the best in her. And so when I brought it up, it was expressed that she was going to him for advice. It just didn't make sense to me. And a part of me could have just let that go and been like, okay, yeah, I trust her and I trust her word. But there was this instinct that was just like, no, this isn't right. And this isn't the type of close friendship that you want. And so I ended the friendship. If I were to say keep it around, I don't really feel that the loyalties would have been the same because I was shown that there wasn't. For me, I don't do that, so I also want the same. And so I had to say no. And now since doing that, I'm opening up more containers of friendships that are welcoming, more of a yes, where the loyalties are the same. And sure, I could have been, sure, some people's advice were, you know, see the good in them and forgive them. But I'm like, no, if it doesn't sit right with me, it doesn't sit right with me. And I think you kind of just got to see people for who they are. And through this, I've learned that I love the people who are honest and truthful, even if it offends people. Even if it makes people uncomfortable, I love those people to be around. Because I know there's no bullshit. If my hair's a mess, if something doesn't fit right, they're going to tell me and be honest about it. If I'm going through something with my partner or something, or rather, they're going to be honest with their truth rather than try and tiptoe and say what I want to hear. I don't want you to say what I want to hear. I want to hear your truth. I want you to be honest. I want you to offend me a little bit. I want to be shaken up. I want to be a little bit uncomfortable by what you say because I know that it's your truth. And so I've had to step away a lot from people pleasers, the people who are the purity police. It's very hard to be around people like this when you want to express freely. Maybe things don't sit right with you, or you don't like certain ways of being, and you kind of end up getting a lecture about how you should accept people for who they are and yada yada yada. It's like, no, we're just human, and we gotta determine, we gotta sift through what we like and what we don't like. So realizing this has been really rewarding for my confidence and for just understanding my own human better. Learning to stick up for myself when people are rude to you. Allowing myself to realize all this has been quite a journey, but I can say that it's grown a lot of confidence in myself. I will never go out of my way to be rude or mean or vindictive, but I will definitely stick up for myself if I see people doing wrong by me. And I'm not afraid to tell people to fuck off if they are trying to take advantage. Because trying to be nice and see the good in people all the time is just such an illusion. Because not everyone is a good person to you. Doesn't mean they're a bad person in general, but sometimes the way people treat you isn't always the best. And I feel like learning to trust yourself is way more important than trying to see the good in people all the time or trying to be nice to people all the time. And the more you are disliked, the easier it gets and the less you care. Especially when you start to embrace these mentalities, you realize that friends start to drop off into your life because you bring up one thing in the relationship and it dies, or you start to be more of who you are, and people get triggered by that and they don't like it. And I'm just learning to embrace that more. It's okay if you don't like my opinions. It's okay if you don't like who I am. Let them think what they want. But don't let their thoughts determine how you think about yourself. The second guessing, the anxiousness, just learn to be strong in your word and your own instinct. And the more you practice it, the easier it gets. Like, I remember when I first started, I would still lay in bed and be like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? And maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I have too much high standards. And now it's like been like over a year now, and I'm like, oh, I feel a lot more settled in myself. And you're able to see it more easily in your life as well. So yeah, I hope this was able to resonate with some of you guys, and maybe this helps you in some way. But this is one little learning curve that I've been able to push through, because people pleasing is so tiring. It's so tiring. So yeah, hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next week.